Dear Uhuru Kenyatta, initially when I wanted to do this, I thought of writing a physical letter to you, but then it got to a point where I was filtering some of the thoughts that I had, but then I decided, let me make this a little different and actually address you via video. I'm not sure how many people will get to see this, but I hope that you actually do. So the first thing that I'll actually do is read what I had written already and then get to the rest of the thoughts that I have and how we can be able to move from here. Dear Uhuru Kenyatta, I'm not exactly sure where we should start this. Let's start with an intro of who I am. I am 33, a family man, recently started my own business after quitting a well-paying 9-to-5 job. In my small corner of Kenya, I'm just trying to make a dream that I have come true. Recently, it's been really hard to make that happen. This letter to you is to explain why, and I think where you come in. In March of last year, I sat and watched your Cabinet Secretary of Health announced that things were so bad that we needed to go on a break and stay inside our houses so that we could flatten the curve. What I had not anticipated at that time, sad to say, is that with this one announcement, my business would come to a standstill. I'm a creative, and so the work that I do involves people. At this time, your administration had said that people should stop congregating and events were also cancelled. I thought to myself, this must be a small setback, but within 2-3 weeks tops, we should get back to normal life. It's been a year later, things still haven't gone back to normal. So while listening to you yesterday speak to the nation, and of course speaking to me, I thought, why not talk to you too? That's what this letter is about. I have to preface this with the fact that I don't complain about what's happening. Have watched other citizens try and talk to you as well, and maybe it's the pessimist in me, but maybe you won't get this letter. So I guess this letter will be read and watched and listened to by the rest of Kenyans. I hope that it gets to you finally and we can get some things straightened out. Number one, corruption. Now this is the one topic that your government has no idea how to deal with. I have watched several times as your government comes and you yourself come out and say, we are going to fight corruption, we are going to make this thing stop. And in fact, that was one of the things that you told us you'd do in 2013. It's 2021 right now, and our country has had the worst corruption, even more than the days of Moi. Every single day we look at the papers and it's depressing to be seeing that the same people in your government, the same people that you appointed, are the same alleged thieves that are fueling this corruption. I've had my fair share of seeing exactly how corruption is in your government. Every single time in a public vehicle, a vehicle stops and police officer greets the matatu conductor or the driver, and then after that we are gone. That in itself is a level of impunity that happens every single day. Recently I read that we've borrowed 3 billion every single day in the year 2020, and then another report that 2 billion is being stolen every single day. How is this possible in a government where you've told us that you're going to fight corruption? Are these people that you are leading too untouchable? The people that you yourself appointed, the people that you placed under yourself in your organization, in your government, are they untouchable? Is it that they are the ones controlling government and you have your hands tied? Were they already going to get those positions even before you got into power? All these are questions that I wish I could get an answer to, but I guess you probably won't even see this video. The second place where I've seen corruption, in my own case, one of those days, traveling on the road, driving, and then I made a wrong turn, a place where I had not even seen the road sign. And because I don't believe in bribing, I told that police officer, and the truth was I didn't have any money at that time. And within the time that I spoke to that particular police officer, 5 other motorists did the same mistake that I did. They made a right turn where there was no right turn. And that police officer told me, are you saying that you will not do what unexplainably he was telling me to do? And I told him to his face, I don't have any money. The truth was, at that particular moment, I was trying to go somewhere where I'd do some work, and then I would actually get some cash to fuel my business. This was just something that I never thought would go really far. But then he asked his fellow police officer to go to the police station and get the traffic offense book, which when that person was actually leaving, he asked me one last time, do you want me to go and bring that book? I didn't have an answer. In my heart, I was feeling like tears were about to start coming out because I knew what this meant. And at the end of the day, that police officer went back to the police station and he just wrote down my name in the traffic offense book. And I was given 2 offenses. One, making a turn where there was no turn, and secondly, obstructing traffic, which in the truth of the matter, I never obstructed any traffic. But that's beside the point. I went to court on the next day, got there very early at 8 a.m. at the traffic law court. And as I got there, one person came to me and asked me, where are you going? And I said, I'm actually looking for the traffic law court. And he told me that if I followed him, I would actually be able to get that sorted out before I get to court. And in my heart, I knew that this sorting out what it actually meant. And I told him that I really didn't have any money and I was really hoping that this would actually be thrown out. And he told me in Kiswahili, if you don't want this sorted out, then I can't help you. I waited outside the courts until 11 a.m. noting I'd gotten there at 8 and the court came full. I think the judges or the magistrates there really have a big caseload because that particular judge was moving from court to court. And then when it got to my turn, he asked me whether I plead guilty or not. And I pleaded guilty because of the fact that if you plead not guilty, the bail will still be set and then you still need to come back for another trial court date. And the reason this happened to me is because I didn't give 500 shillings to the police officer that first day. And I ended up paying in court 15,000 shillings, 5,000 for obstructing traffic and 10,000 for making that turn, all because I could not cooperate with that police officer and give him what he wanted. That's just one case, and that's just me. Corruption affecting me. I'm not talking about all the corruption that I hear about in the news. Mr. President, I'm just talking about the one that affects me. Healthcare. In this country, we have what is known as the National Health Insurance Fund, a fund that has been set up in order to help normal Kenyans like myself be able to access healthcare affordably and quickly. With the coronavirus going around in this country, what started as something that we could ignore now is on a third wave. Yesterday you told us that until further notice, our county is locked down. It's sad. Now, when it comes to health care, many of the people in your government have enough money to be able to go to the private hospitals, to be able to get the very best in terms of health care. Many Kenyans cannot. In public hospitals, so many times I watch in the news where people are sharing beds. People are actually waiting to get the beds that are there. They are full. One of the governors said that all the beds in the ICU in his county are all full. 1 year later, Mr. President, we don't have enough beds in our public hospitals. I'm not rich to be able to go outside the country anytime I seek medical attention. I can only be able to survive with the public health system. If you really wanted, Mr. President, things would have actually been sorted out in our medical industry. If you have 4 billion available to give to MPs, to give to MCAs, 2 million to buy their own cars, surely, if you really cared about us the way that you say every day that you do, the way your manifesto actually says that you do, then would have functioning hospitals, the NHIF would actually be working, and people would not be dying left, right, and center because healthcare facilities are not working. Every single time that our healthcare professionals strike because of their pay, because of the working conditions that they have, your people come out in arms telling them that they should care about the country, when in fact they are the ones who are caring about this country. But the people in your government, in your Ministry of Health, the people in your parastatals do not. When women have to give birth outside the hospital, when men have to hold their fathers dying outside their hospital because there is no place that those people can be taken inside the hospital, then I think we have to talk about it. It's not enough that people will get angry online. It's not enough that people will say all they want to say within their houses. It needs to be said. Something must get changed. Health is a right that is set forth in the Constitution, that every single person has a right to get good healthcare services. If you, Mr. President, actually cared about the citizens of this country, then you'd probably go and get treated at a public hospital. But the truth of the matter is you wouldn't step there because those are corridors of death. Number 3, salaries and remuneration. Now I know that in your government there is a salaries and remunerations committee. But the fact of the matter is, and it is public knowledge, they have no power. The way it has actually been set is that MPs and senators and MCAs, the people that we chose, have the power to change their own salaries. Hear me. Get closer. You are servants of citizens. You are public servants. And I know next year you will come to us and tell us that you want to serve us for 5 more years. And like the fools that we are, we will listen to you and you'll give us 500 shillings, allegedly, and then we will get you into power again. Don't even get me started on BBI. Let me talk about salaries first of all. There was a time that you came out, Mr. President, and you said that you were going to get a salary cut, that you were not going to allow yourself to earn so much when Kenyans like me are suffering. I don't have the luxury, I don't have the money to get into power, to get the money that you have. But the fact of the matter is that so many of the people with well-intended intentions, like myself, when they get into the positions that you are in right now, they end up getting corrupted by the system that has been put in place. If you wanted, then things would have actually started, because the buck stops with you. I can't talk about MPs and senators if I don't talk about and to the man at the top. If you really wanted things to change in terms of leadership in this country, then would actually be able to see it from your office. Stop asking us questions of what What do we want you to do when in the first case we put you into power because you told us that you had the solution for us? The truth of the matter is you need to have those solutions. And if I have to come and tell you that, then you have failed as a leader. The leader is supposed to tell us, let us go this way, not lifting up his hands and saying, what do you want me to do? If you lift up your hands and you have the power in this country, what are people like me supposed to do, Mr. President? When the SRC came in 2013 and they say that this was going to be the salary of the MP, of the senator, of the MCA, of the president, we were happy because we knew that would reduce our wage bill. But the very first thing that your MPs and senators did, and I say they're yours because your government is the ruling party, but the first thing that they did was increase their salaries, increase their allowances, all this in the face of Kenyans who every single day have to walk out of their houses to look for what they're going to eat that day, Mr. President. That is a slap in the face of people who every single day have to live under $1 a day. And yet the MPs and the senators in this country will earn over 10,000 US dollars in a country where they're earning 10,000 times what 50% of the population will not be earning. Mr. President, if this is not impunity, I don't know what is. I, at that time, was lucky enough to be able to be in a steady paying job. But at the same time, I'm still paying taxes in this country. And up to this time, I know, and I just checked, I have paid over 2.1 million shillings in terms of tax. Just one Kenyan. Just one Kenyan paid 2.1 million in terms of tax. And what do I get out of it? It's only able to help an MP to buy whatever they need to buy in 2 months. And my money is useless. I don't even want to talk about inflation. I don't even want to talk about all the corruption cases that are in your government, Mr. President. All this every single day. And if someone like me does a wrong turn on the road, I'm charged 15,000 because I do not want to participate in corruption. And yet there are so many people in your government, in the governments, county governors, county senators, MCAs, all these stories we hear about corruption, and then the next day we see them in the news, and when they come to you and they talk to you in State House, their cases disappear in our courts, Mr. President. That is wrong. If we are going to change this country, Mr. President, you need to be at the forefront. We will not sit idly by and pretend that things are going right when in this country there are people who are suffering every single day. Just coming out and telling us about how Corona is affecting this country, there are far bigger things in this country that need to be sorted out by your presidency. And I wish that in the next 1 year, you'd stop pestering us with BBI, which is one of the other things that is going to pilfer all the coffers in this country, and actually focus on helping people just for 1 year. For 9 years, you and your friends have gotten all the leeway that you have wanted to do whatever it is that you want to do. And some of these things will never see the light of day, but let me get this straight. We are not happy as citizens of this country. Things need to change, Mr. President. If you are going to leave a legacy, and you have 12 months to do this, get things straight in your country. Stop giving us public announcements and actually get to work. If you actually said that corruption should end in this country, it would end. If you actually wanted things to change in this country, they would change. But the apathy in your government, starting from the very top, is appalling. Just because we have a handshake, everyone else pretends that things are okay when in fact they are not. Things need to change, Mr. President. And I hope that this small lecture from this small Kenyan actually gets to you and actually gets you started doing something. about it. I'm a frustrated Kenyan. And every time I think of the fact that for 3 months I had no work to do because of the fact that your government is not doing exactly what it is supposed to do, it hurts on the inside. In fact, Kenyans are not asking for handouts. I'm not asking for handouts. I don't want them. I want to work hard and get my work rewarded. I want your government officers to do the things they are being paid for. I want them to get to their offices and do exactly what their job description says that they should be doing, not anything else. I'm not asking anyone to meet or surpass expectations. I'm just telling them the thing that they were employed to do that. And then we will handle the rest of the things ourselves. You will tell us that there is AGPO, that there is youth opportunities, when the fact of the matter is there is money that is lying in counties, in the national governments that people have no access to. This is unacceptable. Anytime you come out, you tell us in this number of weeks things are going to be sorted out. Well, those weeks end, but things are not sorted out. Let's get things done the right way. I had no idea this would get here, but I hope this letter gets to you and you act upon it. I know you left Twitter, but I hope it gets to you. Hope there's internet connection where you are so that you can watch this 20 minutes of a Kenyan speaking to you.